Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to make an incredible pizza base. It's actually really straightforward, and once you've learned how to make it like this, I think you'll carry on doing so because it's so good. Now, I don't show you how to make the sauce in this video. I'm going to do another video for that, so make sure you check that out because that tomato sauce is really simple, it's really delicious, and I use it on all of my pizzas. So yeah, check that one out as well. The ingredients for a great pizza base couldn't be simpler. You need some strong white bread flour, salt, and fast-action dried yeast. This recipe makes 2 pizzas, so combine 320 grams of flour, 5 grams of salt, and about 5 grams of yeast in a mixing bowl. Give it a little mix, then add 190 grams of warm, but not hot, water. Then start to mix it together. I'm doing this with a stand mixer, but kneading by hand is just as good. I knead for about 10 minutes if I'm kneading by hand or with a stand mixer. It's the same. After 10 minutes, the dough should be smooth and stretchy. If the dough feels excessively sticky after that time, you may need to add a bit more flour. But we want the dough to be as wet as it can be without it being so wet that it sticks to our hands. Now roll the dough into a ball and put it in a bowl with the lid on. Then put that bowl somewhere warm. I turn the oven on for a couple of minutes. Then I turn it off, and I put the bowl of dough in the oven. It stays at between 20 and 30 degrees Celsius if I do it this way, and that's perfect. If you haven't got a warm room, don't worry, the next step will just take a bit longer. After 1 to 2 hours, the dough should have risen and be about double in size. If your dough is in a cool room, just wait until your dough has doubled in size. I sometimes leave mine for up to 12 hours in a cooler place, and it's fine. If anything, it develops more flavour. Once your dough has risen, empty it onto a clean work surface. Flatten it out and cut it into 2 equal-sized pieces. These will be your 2 pizza bases. Now shape them into balls. Try and build surface tension by repeatedly stretching the top of the ball down to the bottom of the ball and tucking it in. It's hard to describe, but hopefully you can see how I'm doing it. Now flour the base of a big Tupperware container and place the dough balls onto the floured surface, with a bit of space between them. Now put the lid on and leave them to double in size once more. If you want to eat your pizza very soon, put them somewhere warm again, and they should be ready in 1 to 2 hours. But if you're not planning on eating them until the next day, put them somewhere cooler to slow down the rise. When your dough is ready to use, put 2 baking trays, or pizza stones if you have them, into the oven and turn it up as high as it'll go. Our oven goes up to 220 degrees Celsius, but hotter would be better. Now remove the Tupperware lid and flour the top of the dough balls. Remove them one at a time and place onto a well-floured surface ready to be shaped into a pizza base. Start shaping by forming the crust. The crust shouldn't be touched with your fingers at all, otherwise you'll push all of that air out and you'll end up with a flat, dense crust. Push your fingers around the entire circumference of the pizza like this, leaving a 1 to 2 centimeter gap from the edge. That's the crust. Then flatten out the center of the pizza using a similar action. Now pick the pizza base up and place it onto the backs of your fingers and stretch the base out. Keep rotating it, otherwise you'll end up ripping the base. This takes a bit of practice, but if you do it a few times, you'll get the hang of it. There you go. That's our first pizza base. Let me show you again. First of all, form the crust. Then flatten the centre. I kind of did both in one action here. Now it goes onto the backs of your fingers, and you stretch it by slightly moving your hands away from each other at the same time as opening your fingers away from each other. Without a pizza, the action kind of looks a bit like this. Remember to keep rotating the pizza so you don't rip it, but don't worry if you do. It takes a little practice. Now place your pizza base onto a well-floured baking sheet with no edges. I'm using this instead of a pizza peel, but if you have a pizza peel, use that instead. Top your pizza with your favourite seasonal toppings. Check out my video on how to make this delicious tomato sauce. It's really easy and tastes incredible. Now carefully remove one of the baking trays from the oven and slide your pizza onto it. Put it straight back in the oven. They should cook fairly quickly. These took about 5 minutes, but in a proper pizza oven, they'll be ready in under 2 minutes. I like my pizzas less well done than most people that I know, so just cook yours until it's how you like it best. Drizzle with olive oil and sprinkle with salt and pepper. It smells amazing. Now slice it up and prepare to be blown away. There you go. It's so easy to make that amazing pizza. Now remember that to make the sauce, that's also really easy, and I've got another video on that, so check that one out as well.